Prime Minister Narendra Modi is in Johannesburg this weekend for the G20 Summit. But this isn't just another diplomatic photo op. This gathering reveals shifting power dynamics on the world stage and India's rising influence within them. As global uncertainty deepens and traditional alliances fracture, this summit could mark a turning point. The venue itself tells a story. This is the first G20 summit ever held on African soil and the fourth consecutive one hosted by the Global South. Indonesia kicked off this trend in 2022, followed by India in 2023, then Brazil in 2024, and now South Africa. These nations represent billions of people whose voices have historically been sidelined in global economic decision-making. The theme is inclusive growth for a sustainable future. Modi will address all three formal sessions, tackling everything from trade and development financing to disaster risk reduction and the role of artificial intelligence in our economies. But he's expected to push two critical issues hard. First, giving the Global South greater say in economic decisions. Fair market access. Real reforms in global financial institutions. These demands affect how billions of people experience the global economy. Second, getting G20 nations to take a harder line on terrorism and extremism. India wants concrete measures on tracking terror financing, included in the final communique. Modi's message will be clear. Terrorism isn't one region's problem. It's everyone's problem. Here's where it gets interesting. The United States is not showing up. President Trump announced he's skipping the summit, saying South Africa should not even be in the G20 anymore. He's refusing to represent America at the gathering.
For generations, Miami has been a haven for those fleeing communist tyranny in South Africa. I mean, if you take a look at what's going on in parts of South Africa, look at South Africa, what's going on. Look at South America, what's going on. You know, I'm not going to, we have a G20 meeting in South Africa. South Africa shouldn't even be in the Gs anymore because what's happened there is bad. I'm not going. I told them I'm not going. I'm not going to represent our country there. It shouldn't be there.
An American president missing the G20? That's virtually unprecedented. The result? A draft joint statement was finalized without US participation, a symbolic moment that underscores America's retreat from multilateral engagement. This is not happening in a vacuum. Trump's administration is currently locked in tough trade negotiations with India, frustrated that New Delhi won't budge on protecting its farmers and key sectors. Modi has said he'll pay any price to defend India's sovereignty in trade deals. For India, this creates opportunity. Modi has already met with Australian Prime Minister Albanese on the summit's margins. Australian officials expressed condolences over the recent terror attack in Delhi, and the two leaders discussed deepening cooperation across defense, security, trade, critical minerals, and technology. Their comprehensive strategic partnership, elevated in 2020, keeps gaining momentum. Modi will also participate in the India-Brazil-South Africa trilateral meeting, the IPSA forum that brings together three major democracies from three continents. Founded in 2003, IPSA advocates for UN Security Council expansion and coordinates on global issues. It's soft power diplomacy in action. This is Modi's fourth visit to South Africa, and he's leveraging every bilateral opportunity. India is positioning itself as a bridge between the global south and developed economies. The G20 represents 85% of global GDP, 75% of world trade, and two-thirds of humanity. As traditional powers step back and question multilateral institutions, Modi is stepping forward, positioning India not just as a player, but as a leader actively shaping the global agenda. What happens in Johannesburg this weekend matters. It's about more than policy declarations. It's about who sets the terms of global engagement in the years ahead. And India is making sure it has a voice at the table. With Debagna Datta, Bureau Report, India Today Global.